Oh,
You're doing it wrong, man.
what's wrong with action figures?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and I know I just started the comment of the weekly last week, but we ain't got time today. We'll get back to it next week. I like the idea. I like responding to comments. There's just too much rambling to do this week. That's right, I'm not even sugarcoating it. Robo has got to ramble. There's some ranting, but it's mostly rambling because, oh my god, the Marvel team decided to delve into one of my favorite late 80s comics that's not X-Men, but as close to X-Men as you can get. That's my toast and jam, but you know what my bread and butter is? My bread and butter. Oh yeah, we got some Star Wars to talk about. This is just wasting time, isn't it? But I'm so happy. First off, though, last week we got a picture or two of the, oh geez, here we go. The Bandai Warhammer 40k Ultramarines Primaris Captain in Gravis armor. Along with that came a promise of a pre-order, which didn't come the last time we reported on it. But that happened this week, so we get a better look because of, you know, pretty promotional pics. It looks just as impressive as the first Bandai release, just everything cranked up to 11. Bigger boots, bigger shoulder pads, bigger emblems stuck everywhere, there's change. Larger collar with the dome on top than the spikes sticking off of that. Broad energy sword, bulky backpack, machine gun mounted to the left side. No nonsense here. The description even says that Bandai added die-cast. I'm not sure if that's the inner skeleton or if there's actual parts on the outside that are now die-cast. I don't know, but it's going to add the heft that I kind of missed with that first release. Looking at the comparison, I have to believe that the base bodies for the old one and the new one are still about the same size. They listed as 8 inches, but that's up to the top of the pointy point. And they even have the new one kind of in the foreground, the old one to the back just slightly to make it look barely a bit bigger, but
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
But what's the first thing you look at on a pre-order page when it opens before you? You look at the price, right? And $240. Let me repeat that. $240. Now I get it. Prices are jumping up. All companies, all industries, toy lines, it doesn't matter. Everything is going up in price. And going back to my review of the first one, I said it didn't feel worth the $100 price tag that had. Is there another $140 worth of value stacked on top of this compared to the original? But if you only do Warhammer, you're a super fan, you're hardcore, this is up for pre-order for, well, until next week. Then pre-orders close, they'll start manufacturing. It's made to order. If you're interested, the link is in the description. But sometimes I have to step back and remember that value, much like beauty, is all in the eye and wallet of the beholder, because we're going to talk about Toiletbots for the third week in a row. They're not up everyone's alley, but they're so wacky and wild and weird that I can't help wanting them. These are just hijinks type toys that you can stick in any display, any photo, and it just adds a bit of fun. Even if your photo was fun, it adds on top of that more fun. It's a robot toilet and urinal. What more do you want? Is it urinal overseas? I think I've heard that said, you know, decals. Just saying all that evokes images, both good and bad, but we're on the side of good here. I like to picture Portabody and Duchampion helping out the heroes when they can. I mean, some battles go on longer than you expect, and I don't care how disciplined or what superpower you have, nature's eventually going to come a-calling. That's when the Toiletbots become the unsung heroes of the war against evil. Somebody like Star-Lord or Black Widow gets punched in the gut by a superpowered being. Things happen. But enough of that. If you're down for some high-tech mobile porcelain technology, these are up for pre-order as a pair for about $100. Ships late this year. Touching on NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just very quickly, here is our first look at the Loot Crate exclusive Claw Shredder. It looks cool, very appropriate for a dude that wears blades all over his body, but there is no way that this figure holds this pose for any amount of time. And that's not me ragging on NECA, that is just physics. Look at those arms. They gotta be big, chunky, heavy, that either the elbows give out or the weight pulls the figure forward. It's something. Still, cool to see it in all its plastic glory. With this, we've now seen most of the last Loot Crate wave. There's Danny. Oh, I mean, Dan, there's Armagon, there's Scrag in both human and bat forms, and that just leaves Donnie the Dark Turtle. Honestly, the best figure in this whole deal, and the biggest reason to go in on the Loot Crate series. Why I'll save them for last, right? I mean, you can't argue facts. I have to say, McFarlane does go radio silent on the toy front every now and then, but it's never for long, and he always makes up for it when he comes back. This week we learned that the DC Multiverse Birds of Prey Harley Quinn that we talked about a week or 2 or 3 ago, she will not be a lonely single release. There's kind of a wave to it. Or they're at least getting all solicited at the same time, like this Superman animated series Flash. I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to see any more cartoon figures like this. After a dry spell, it's been a while. And they seemingly moved to live action, more recent comics, but here we are. Not only that, but when Flash went up on Amazon, there was also a pre-order page for the Superman animated series Black Suit Superman. This may be a shock to a lot of you, but I'm unfamiliar with Superman the animated series. When I hear Black Suit, I think no cape, mullet. Even Googling animated series Superman Black Suit doesn't bring up a whole lot of images, but if you dig it, you dig it, right? Here you go. This figure wasn't a part of the preview of this wave. Instead, they showed the Rebirth Superman. This looks like it mostly reuses that Rebirth Bizarro that we were all hoping to see a Superman on. And while it's a bit more beefcake than I usually picture, it's not a bad look. Looks even better in the official promotional image, but my eyes can't help focus on the boot tops. Apparently, the sculpted Bizarro boot cut isn't accurate to the Rebirth Superman, so instead of resculpting a new lower leg, they just kind of painted a point on top and left the sculpt underneath.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
To round out the previews reveal, Hazmat Batman. Hazmat Batman. Hazmat Batman. That just rolls off the tongue. Hazmat Batman. Hazmat Batman. I know. Another Batman, but it's an interesting look. Does Bruce work in the biohazard symbol for himself just to keep everything organized? Or is this to strike fear into the hearts of radiation-type villains? Scuba. Business. Lava. Space. Ah, here we go. Hazmat. No, I don't know anything about Justice League the Amazovirus. Why? And then right before I walked in here, they posted a pretty promotional image of the Hazmat Batman, and apparently there's going to be a gold label version, Target exclusive, that has a light-up chest. Hazmat Batman. Oh, but I think that segues nicely into another company doing another Batman. In fact, while it's fresh on our minds, is it weird that we got promotional images from 2 different companies from opposite sides of the world of Batmans in costumes that stray away from the classic spandex, both with hoses running to their mouths? I mean, what are the chances of that? Medicom seems to be going whole hog with DC Batman Hush, giving us villains, giving us allies, but nothing crosses those T's and dots those I's than the solicitation of the stealth jumper Batman. I mean, that's really digging. Did he appear on 1 page in 1 issue? But basically, it's another Batman for the line. It's Batman Hush. You can't go too long without putting another Batman in the line. One you can skip if you're not into the one-off looks, but if you're building a hardcore Jim Lee display, yeah, you gotta add this. I'd argue that it's even more Jim Lee than the blue and gray and black and gray. I don't know what it is about the helmet, the eyes, something. It just leapt off the page. Lacking in the accessories department though, it only comes with alternate hands and then a Batarang. Maybe because the other MAFEX offering for this month used the whole budget in that department. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the Marvel comic style Iron Man, I thought, I just got this in Marvel Legends. Exact same figure. I mean, look at him. Look at the technology I'm using to compare these two. Just look at him. I mean, he's got the blue unibeam here, which isn't classic, while the MAFEX does. So that's a big difference. I can just pass this on by. Oh, boot blasts, hand blasts. Hasbro has me covered there too. Oh wait, alternate faceplate to give you the nose look, which isn't high on my want list, but apparently there's some kind of gimmick where you can either black out the eyes or have Tony's eyes peering out from behind the mask. Talk to me more, Medicom. Classic-inspired Tony Stark head? I'm grumbling. No, I'm gonna hold my ground. I'm good with the Marvel Legends. Giant cannon that is apparently more inspired by the comic than the video game that doesn't really go with this iteration of Iron Man, but I can use it with other Iron Mans that I already have in boxes and tubs and shelves. Hand, what are you doing? Quit reaching for that wallet! Roller skates? I'm in. The $120 price tag kind of hurts. I mean, it's not $240 for a figure about the same size, just a little thicker. But I've seen third-party cannons around the net and the prices on those. That makes me feel that this is kind of worth it. Not that the third parties aren't worth it, but I can think of this as a bundle. I get a kick-ass Iron Man figure, I get that big-ass cannon, I get the roller skates. That's the biggie. And then Batman is $83. Both are set to drop in June 2022, but they probably won't. You know how it goes. And I can't remember if I did this on purpose or subconsciously, but let's move from one company that's known for its delays to another with the Mezco 1/12 Collective Alien. I think they showed this at Toy Fair 2020. I'm not sure. 2020 just ran all together. They may have shown it before that, but that's the last time I remember seeing it. Or that's the first time I remember seeing it. And it looks good and alien-y with the top of the dome translucent. You can see the skull through it, the odd proportions, the back tubes, Now, before you say it, I have seen these movies, but it's been a long time, and long enough for me to forget some of the details, and I've never really been into any of the action figures since then. Saying that, I guess I never realized or had forgotten that the hands actually have 6 fingers. For some reason, that weirds me out more than the actual look of the alien. I guess because that's kind of burned into all our brains, but that little detail? Creepy. Also comes with a chest burster, an open and closed face hugger, interchangeable inner mouths. See, that's what used to creep me out back in the day. Now, fingers. Interchangeable chest plate, alternate hands, and a couple of eggs. My worry here is that they're blasting all new seamless body all over this, which is fine and dandy if we weren't already waiting way too long for the '89 Batman, who uses, or apparently uses, that same technology. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the wait. It'll come when it comes. But to solicit another figure when it seems like they're still trying to nail down the first one, maybe it'll turn out fine. Hopefully it'll turn out fine. But I think a lot of people are waiting for that experience in hand before jumping on the seamless body Ferris wheel again. If you're down to pre-order this, it is still available. $100 should ship early 2022, but we'll see. I recently got a review sample of the threezero DLX Iron Man Mark 43, and while I didn't care for the size, since it was bigger than advertised, I just absolutely love the sculpt, the paint, and mostly the engineering. After messing with that, I went back to my DLX Transformers Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, and oh, it's so good. So how timely is the announcement for the MDLX Transformers Bumblebee? I'm just guessing the M in MDLX stands for mini, because the blurb actually says MDLX is a new series of articulated figures capturing the spirit of threezero's renowned DLX series at a smaller scale, with a similar high range of articulation and great durability, resulting in a groundbreaking affordable price. I don't know what else I can say after that. Same fiddle factor, cheaper price. threezero states that B is based on the 80s cartoon, but redesigned, which makes sense. It kind of looks like it's been shoved through the Transformers Bumblebee movie filter, which, okay, that movie kind of took it back to the 80s again. This takes it even more back to the 80s. And the alternate masked head, oh, be still my heart. Comes with swappable hands and a blaster. I think the best thing about this is the price tag of $60. Sure, it's smaller at 5 inches tall, but with the die-cast inner frame, all the paint, all the sculpt, the mobility, if it's comparable to the DLX series, then this is going to be amazing. My fear is that they never go very deep with their lines. We may get Optimus, probably Megatron, maybe another Decepticon, and then after that, it's just, you know, who knows? And yeah, get it off your chest. A Transformer that doesn't transform. Human sacrifice. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. Should ship early 2022. Sticking with Transformers, the Hasbro team held a Fan First Friday today, and be prepared for me to talk about a lot of stuff that I have no clue about, both here and the next segment. They announced their Victory Saber HasLab project, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there another HasLab project going on right now? It's about to end? I think it funded. What was that? Anyway, Victory Saber breaks down to Victory Leo and Star Saber, who Saber, and then down to Brainmaster. So there's quite a bit going on here, because I think they all transform into some kind of flying vehicles, jets, planes, spaceships, and then that somehow... Thankfully, if you collect Transformers and you're interested in this, The price is $180, which doesn't seem too bad for all this plastic that you're getting, and then a goal of 11,000 units. Oh, and I caught that. Oh, we're not going to wait a week to reveal our stretch goals. Here is the cannon and some blast effects that open up at 14,000 units.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Yeah, Marvel team, take that! Campaign starts today, runs until October 10th. Oh, Power Rangers. Here we go again. Hasbro does an announcement, pops up for pre-order. There you go. This week we saw a couple of Amazon exclusives, starting with the In-Space 2-pack of Ecliptor and Astronema that were revealed at an overseas show last month. It's been a little while. You're probably sick of hearing it, but I don't know Power Rangers, especially when you get away from Mighty Morphin Land. At least there I can kind of pick out here and there. You also know how I think at this point, so I'm always looking for customizing fodder. When I first saw Astronema back when she was first announced, Lila Cheney from the X-Men. But I never picked that up for that. I didn't like the blue. The makeup seemed weird, and it was a boxy type armor. This with the corset and the softer makeup, the lighter hair, that's 80s rocker. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. Plus, if I buy this 2-pack, I have a cool kind of neon green light villain type situation happening instead of just another Ranger that's gonna go in a tub. And for Finster, same deal. I actually texted Veebs as soon as I saw this, and he was already excited. This is his jam. Me, I hate it. It's too cute. It's too out of my wheelhouse. I don't need this. Even though I kind of look at it and I think, oh, this is a customizer. Look at him. He's playing with action figures. He's got a suitcase with other custom stuff in there. He's got his tools for cutting and sculpting. He's got a magnifying glass and spectacles for fine paint work. And I'm guessing I'm not too far off after I read the description that says he made putties and monsters for Rita Repulsa. Same kind of deal. I'm just using it differently, right? The Astronema and Ecliptor 2-pack is $53. Finster is $27. They both have a ship date of April 1st, 2022. But I gotta think they're gonna beat that if things get better. If things get worse, But as always, on the Fan First Thursday, the Hasbro Marvel Legends team, ooh, they brought it. And yeah, they're throwing product out every week, but that just means there's something for everyone. You don't have to buy it all, but there's gotta be something you like. They started off the stream with a recap, a very speedy recap of the Marvel Legends Eternals wave, because clearly they knew that we had seen those before. Plus, the pretty promotional pictures popped up last week. On top of that, they're not being solicited right now. But we did find out, and I'm going to correct myself from last week, Icarus is in the main wave. He just wasn't pictured in the Gilgamesh build shot because he doesn't come with a Gilgamesh part. They also confirmed that Athena would be a Target exclusive and Ajax would be a Walmart exclusive. Those, along with the Deluxe Crow, means you get all of the main cast of Eternals all in one shot. If you're an MCU fan, that's fantastic. You don't have to dig through comic figures and any of that, because that's a point that comes up in the next wave reveal. Because while they were talking MCU, might as well jump into the Spider-Man No Way Home figures we had already seen. I think these were revealed on Marvel.com at some point, but we see the integrated suit Spider-Man. It kind of just takes elements from previous costumes, smashes them all together, hence integrated. Then there's the new suit, the black and gold. Not a lot of info is out for this thing right now. It's apparently the new suit from the new movie. I don't want to know too much. I want to go in clean. I want to go in fresh. I want to go in unspoiled. That's why I'm on the internet all the time, because y'all won't spoil it for me, will ya? We had seen J. Jonah Jameson. We now know that he comes with 2 alternate heads. There's a Spider-Man is a menace, and then there's the Spider-Man is a menace! They talked about getting another crack at Doctor Strange, making him more accurate, face, torso, other parts and pieces, and that the magic spells are actually attached to magic-wielding hands. Thus endeth the figures we knew about in this wave. That meant, new reveals, and Moreland, again, I hate saying this because people are like, he's been around for a while, why don't you know him? I don't know why I don't know this guy. But I look at this, it's very nice. He's got the little things in his hands. He's got a nice suit body that I may or may not grab to swap with one of my Hellfire guys to change them up a bit. And 2 heads, both Shriek makes sense because she's symbiote related and will be making an appearance in the upcoming Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage movie. So yeah, might as well get the comic version out there to coincide with that. They also said that this gives us another female body that has shorter legs, double elbows, pin visible. Then to finish off the wave, PS5 Miles Spider-Man, which again, no-brainer. We saw the translucent version pop up at GameStop as an exclusive, all new sculpt. There was no way they were gonna skip it a chance to give this a painted version. And there's something here that catches my eye, besides it being Miles and an awesome design. The matte black with the shiny red, there's something about that here. But it's the Build-A-Figure that caught us off guard, mostly because when they send out pre-order info to online retailers, they don't list the Build-A-Figure. So this can't get leaked. They get to reveal this in all its glory, and it's Armadillo. Kind of out of left field, but that's my favorite figures. When I don't know where they're coming, and it's just someone I didn't expect at all. It's a little light in the paints, but it's heavy in the sculpt. Look at all that kind of scale work and on the overlays and stuff. And with that being overlays, can they pull that off and give us other characters like a big old Rhino or A-Bomb or... We could use this in a couple places, couldn't we? But I can understand the outrage of having a classic comic book Build-A-Figure in a wave that is mostly MCU. I mean, that's just splitting... Well, that works for both sides of the MCU comic book fence. You don't want comic Build-A-Figure. You don't want MCU figures to build your comic Build-A-Figure. Ah, how dare you? Yay, can we trade? Oh, hey, what's going on? That's just marketing. I mean, Hasbro is in the business of selling toys. Walmart will have an exclusive MCU Spider-Man with unmasked Tom Holland head that actually looks pretty good. But it's Walmart exclusive, so who knows? Also turns out that the S.H.I.E.L.D. Army Builder will be a 2-pack. It comes with weapons, comes with 2 helmets, different colored lenses, and then 3 unmasked heads, so you can swap to your heart's desire. They also announced their Skrull Army Builder. We knew this was coming. They teased the hairdryer gun a while back, but oh yeah, to actually see it in plastic form, Both the Shield and the Skrull will be Pulse exclusives like all Army builders, but they didn't announce when they'll go up. Then came Captain Britain, who was actually revealed the day before by Dan Who Reviews. Dan's in the UK, just felt appropriate. That, along with the tease of the Excalibur sword and Dwight kind of showing us quickly the back of Megan's hair, we were expecting a multi-pack of some kind. That was confirmed when the team whipped out promotional images of Megan herself. Like I said at the first, Excalibur was way up on my read list back in the day, so getting Excalibur... Ooh. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe a 2-pack. Oh, no, there's Shadowcat. That got me even more excited. Who's next? Who's going to finish out, or who's going to add to this multi-pack? And that's where they cut it off. Braddock, Megan, and Pride will be a 3-pack, but Ryan did go on to say that they're working on Rachel. Rachel will come at some point. They gotta get the spikes on the arms. I need to see a plastic Hound Phoenix. Alternate heads, maybe, with that effect. Can we get some wings? A deluxe release. Like I said, I love early Excalibur. I love this set, but I am sorry, Ryan, Dan, Dwight. I gotta do it. I see this as a more modern take on that original team with the more subdued costume details. Shadowcat should definitely have a bigger and more billowy blouse, along with curly hair that just comes up in 80s, but I can understand how that is not very action figure friendly. The same can be said for Megan. That hair, there's no way this figure is going to stand, but I'm okay with that because I can put her on a flight stand. I remember in the comics, she was always either floating, flying, or tiptoeing. So she's going to be kind of above the team. But that does present another problem because her being in the green and black doesn't quite match up with Captain Britain being in his more classic look. When he was in that costume, she was in her orange collared number, and then they both changed costumes in the cross-time caper somewhere. She went to the green and black, he went to the more subdued line work one with the diamonds on the suit. You know, the one that's featured on the package.
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
And then as far as the Brian figure goes, I like it. It's perfectly suitable, but I would have liked to have seen a smaller waist that V's up to broader shoulders, more pecs, essentially little in the middle, but he's got much chest. Move the X just up slightly, less blue up here, more white down here, and then his mask is actually a helmet where there's no nose detail. There's still eyes, kind of a brow, but no nose. It just came out to a point. Whew, is that what, actually, is that what that feels like? Heel Robo, down boy. I've got to go make some shitty comments on other people's YouTube videos. I'll be back. Seriously though, I'm ecstatic about getting Excalibur. I love this set. Again, I've said it before. I'm gonna need this set. I may need another set so I can do some customizing. Put Brian in that second costume, put Megan in that first costume, do some tweaks to Shadow Kitty, and yeah, go from there. I'm going to use a whole pot of orange, I think. I'm ranting and raving, and I haven't even got to Galactus yet. Galactus funded this week, and Frankie Ray Nova got unlocked, and last night Silver Surfer got unlocked, and as I'm recording this, we're about, where are we? We are at about 17,500, which means we've blown past Silver Surfer, but as I'm recording this, they haven't announced another tier. So hopefully they pop something up soon, because still a couple days in the campaign. It'd be cool to unlock other things. And then finish the stream, they did their usual tease. This time Ryan held up a stand that has the old Toy Biz Marvel Legends logo on it. Throwback figures of some kind? It looks like a very elaborate stand, and is that a slot for a background or a card of some kind? I don't know. But speaking of HasLabs, 2 of them so far. Remember last week when I was ranting about there not being a lot of Star Wars Black Series product being announced or releasing and stuff getting pushed back? This is not what I meant. Oh, I'm happy to get the Rancor, but is it going to be the same situation here where Transformers kind of stepped on the toes of Marvel Legends, and then is Rancor going to come along after that and step on the toes of Victory Saber? Seems kind of wrong, but what do I know? I'm no business expert. I don't know marketing. I just get up here and blah, blah, blah. I'm an asshole talking about toys. But to have this HasLab announced during another HasLab that is, well, at the time, was it funded at the time this was announced? But then for another HasLab to come in and try to cock block right at the end, I don't know. Especially if you collect Transformers, Star Wars, Marvel Legends, it's a hard choice to make. I'm hoping it doesn't come hot on the heels of the Transformers in October, but I guess that's at least a month between Galactus and Rancor for someone like me who collects Star Wars and Marvel Legends. Seems like it would be better, at least from a customer standpoint, to allow a little breathing room in between. Have one a quarter or something. You know, a couple of months, hit us with the next one. We'll still give you money. I'm just gonna have to back off some other pre-orders or some imports or something, move some funds around. I make it sound like a crime drama, but really it breaks down to, I can't buy those toys because I want to buy these toys. Well, I say that. Funny story, I woke up super early this morning, earlier than I usually get up, only to find that Bandai had announced new SH Figuarts Mandalorian figures. My Star Wars sense went off or something. Bandai has become really, really light with their Star Wars releases, and I'll be honest, when I saw this picture of Mando, I thought, great, a rehash with a new right thigh pad. But the more I looked, and the more I read, the more I realized that they may have changed some things that I hated about those first 2 releases. Right off the bat, you look at the head, it's been slightly tweaked. I don't know if it's bigger. It looks slightly different in the sculpt department, maybe a little bit more accurate. It's hard to tell. When I look at this, I think, well, when I look at this, I don't think, well, he's got a tiny head. The blurb also says they tweaked the arms, but I can't tell much of a difference. He still seems, okay, he may not be as buff, but he still seems a little broad. The other major infuriating thing about the original releases was the weapon storage, and they also say they changed that up. How? I don't know, but I'm hoping for the best. They've also made the bomb on the belt removable, so here, Carpet Monster, I got some nice treats for you. The feet still look the same. They look different, but they look the same, and the colors overall are more rich. Yeah, I like the look of this, but I'm kind of scared. Besides that, the obvious Season 2 changes, like the right thigh pad, the left knee pad, the Beskar spear, and then hopefully this time around, the Mudhorn shoulder pad stays on. Then there's also a little more statue-esque Grogu, who isn't a pain in the ass to pose. That was a nightmare the first time around too. I think he has shoulders, maybe neck, but most of the time he's gonna be in the new pouch that this Den comes with. Oh, and speaking of Den, he has a pretty good looking unmasked head. That's another downfall that I've seen with SH Figuarts lately. They've kind of went to a cartoony look, more animated. This is realistic. This I can live with. It also lists whistling bird effect. Oh, wrong. It's this one. I'd have to turn in my Star Wars card. But while Mando is an obvious choice, I was pleasantly surprised to see the repainted armor Boba Fett. Oh, this is, if I had to choose one, it's this one. There's no doubt about this one. Thinking about it more, this is a perfect choice for SH Figuarts because On top of more cartoony features to the head, they've also been moving away from washes. A lot of the paints are just kind of plain base coats. That's perfect for this look. And look at Bandai go. That looks like an excellent cloth skirt. That may actually be one of the bigger sellers for me here because I don't have faith that Black Series can make theirs look that good. And if they do make it plastic, he can't sit, which means I can't use my throne, so I have a spot for this right now. I need this now. Includes his rifle, his pistol, rocket firing effect with alternate rocket, and again, realistic unmasked head. Could probably use a little bit more scarring. I think he was a bit more damaged, but still, it doesn't look as cartoony as we've been seeing. The chain code isn't quite accurate for this look. When he did that, he had just got the armor back and it was all chipped and rusted and torn up, but I'm not gonna gripe about extras. Either way, this is bought. As soon as pre-orders go up, I haven't seen them yet, but this is bought. For Mando, it's a harder decision because, oh man, my shelf could probably do without yet another Beskar Mandalorian, and I'm still iffy on the proportions, but this is the first Season 2 Mandalorian that we've seen from any company. You guys know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm not gonna buy it. Liar! Boba is $75, Din is $90, and they're set to release in January. And that's it for this week. Yeah, that's it. There wasn't much rambling going on there, was there? If I missed anything, we will swing around to it next week. In fact, I think on Fwooshcast Live on Sunday, we're going to be talking about all this stuff again because I got more things to say about Marvel Legends and some Bandai Star Wars. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close without me all...
Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
I'll be posting all of that, plus links to pre-orders, more information on the Fwoosh front page Saturday at noon. But if you can't wait that long, links are in the description. Oh, and it worked for Star Wars, kinda. Not that I had anything to do with it, but last week I ranted and raved about Star Wars not showing anything. We got some Star Wars. So, Snake Eyes, G.I.JOE, Hasbro, hit us with something. Come on, we're ready. I know the movie didn't do that great. I haven't even had the urge to watch it yet. I will eventually, who knows, but don't base it on that. Just put out G.I. Joe products. Even before the movie was a thing. Well, we knew it was a thing, but before it ramped up, it's selling out at Target. Oh, said the dirty word. Selling out online, the repaints, the re-repaints. It's selling. Hit us with more G.I. Joe. Announce your HasLab. Oh, well, you can wait a little bit, but announce your HasLab. That Hiss tank would be amazing. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. But we want to see something. We want new stuff. If you enjoyed this Fwoosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter. Bread and butter, 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 butter, bed and butter. I've lost all sense of the words bread and butter. Toast and jam.